So, so very good morning to everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining the session. So, today's session is all about a demo of uh, React Native mobile application development. I'll just share my screen. I hope everyone are able to see my screen. Okay. Yeah. So before starting this session, I would like to give a brief, like a little introduction about me. So myself, I'm Bharat, and I'm working in IT for been past 5 years. So in which like I have worked in the mobile application development like native, Android native, iOS, and the hybrid React Native for the first 3 years, and I'm working as a full stack developer in the next other 2 years, and the continuing as a full stack developer. So okay. Before starting into the session, I would like to give a brief high level agenda, like today's topic, what we are all covering. So, first, we will be looking into what is mobile application development and why do we need mobile application development. Then, we will be discussing on like what is React Native, why we are choosing React Native, then like what are the use cases of React Native. After that, we will see like some real-time applications like which are built using React Native. Then we will be discussing about the core structures, and like based on this course structure, I will be explaining you how like we will be training, like the breakdown of the course and the duration. Yeah. So this will be the today's topic, and it's a introduction to a React Native. So, what is mobile application development? So, mobile application development is a process of creating and releasing a software application which supports for a mobile platform such as like the smartphones, tablets, and some digital assistants like so nowadays you have seen like the digital assistants devices like smart TVs and Apple TV. So using mobile application development, we can extend our softwares to support these hardwares. So next, like why we choose mobile application development. So mobile application development in nowadays it's a like a booming technology where everyone wants to lean towards the mobile application development for customer experience, for their business marketing, their brand recognition, and it's easily accessible for everyone. Like as you can see, most of everyone have the mobile, so they can use any business, any brand applications, which will help the development of any organization or reaching their targets. And Nowadays, like a new thing coming up, like artificial intelligence, and the mobile applications, everyone are trying to build their own artificial intelligence, like chatbots, uh, and like easy development tools using mobile applications and many more. So next will be like, what is React Native? React Native is a JavaScript based application which is built using a React. Again, you might be having the question, sir, what is React? So React is also a JavaScript based application which is developed by the Facebook, and it's a kind of open source where everyone can use for web applications. So this React Native is nothing but an extended version of a React for mobile applications. So it is purely for like cross-platform application using JavaScript. And so React Native is not only targeted for Android and iOS, as I explained, the details in smart devices like Apple TV, Android TV, and smart watches also. Nowadays we have new releases. So this React Native was released on March 2015, and it is going rapidly, and people are adopting like anything, because like using React Native, once you write the code, it will able to generate a build or able to support the platforms like Android and iOS in a single code. So for example, if a customer comes and tell him like, these are my business requirements and I need mobile application. Earlier what was happening, like the customer has to build separately for Android, like the team has to build separately for the Android and separately for the iOS using the native apps. To avoid this, like we have this technology called React Native, and like since it is a JavaScript based uh, development, you can learn once and write it on anywhere in which any machine, like which will support for JavaScript building and running the application. And in real world we can able to see everyone are tending towards the reusable of the code instead of writing any new libraries. So most of them, like 80 to 95% code which we write in the React Native application will be reused. Now, like you will be having the question, sir, you told what is React Native. You will be having the question, sir, why we need to choose React Native? Yeah. So React Native is a like fast and easy to development. So you can do a rapid development in a like very short period of time. And as I mentioned, this is a cost effective. Instead of paying a separate Android and iOS native team, you can pay it in a single team and do the work both. Like as I mentioned, single code base. So write one code and build it for Android and iOS. Reusability of the code. So when it comes to the reusability of the code, we have a concept called components, where you write one component and that component can be reused in many multiple formats. For example, the most common component will be like button or text box. So consider it as a button as a one component where it has a property called some name, so to display some name, and on click of it to happen some function, like for example on click of this, open something or navigate something. So instead of writing that button component every time, we write one component as a like main button, and we'll give a parameters like name, function, and styling like color, width, height. In one screen I choose this button component and give it a functionality of the navigate, and again in some other screen I will again choose the same main parent component button and do some functionality of opening some pop-up or alert. So this is the main concept of code reusability, where it will reduce the usage of your phone memory and build memory. So it is using React. For React Native, we have easy to find developers, which means React Native is a very ecosystem community where you can have a multiple libraries. So easy to find developers. Don't think like, sir, everywhere are developers by we are using. So easy to find developers means like the packages which we get, the third party packages which we use in React Native are easy to find nowadays. So instead of writing a complex operations, performing many things, and again using that operation to our application. So to avoid all these things, the developers what will do, right? They will write all these operations and build one library and store it in a package called npm. So we will discuss this npm once we get into the course later. And as I mentioned, like ship across multiple platforms, you can write it and build or ship what whichever platform you like, for android, ios, phone, tv, or anything. Community ecosystem, like as I mentioned, we have a large community which will support for our react native libraries and development. Okay, so next will be like, what are the use cases of react native? React native, like in nowadays, mainly used for enterprise application, social media applications, and some smaller e-commerce application. So when it comes to the enterprise application, you will be having, sir, can you give me some examples of enterprise application? Yeah. So like the enterprise application mainly focused on like Salesforce and some kind of like CRM loyalty applications or HR management applications. So the enterprise nothing but a business related applications. So wherever like they want to manage the business or some CRM portals or the loyalty management. So here the enterprise application comes into the picture, where which are built using React Native. Then the social media, like everyone knows that today everyone uses Instagram and Facebook. So these two applications are mainly built based on React Native platforms, and Meta is also like encouraging React Native. Like anything, you have many opportunities in React Native at Meta. E-commerce application. So e-commerce application, as you know, e-commerce means some commerce like business, like transaction related application. So this one example will be like the Flipkart and the Walmart, which is a very large e-commerce application in the globe. And we have some many more applications which we'll be seeing on next. Yeah. So basically, these are the main React Native applications which we can see in the today's real-time world. Those are like social media, as I mentioned, Facebook, Instagram, e-commerce, Walmart, Flipkart, Airbnb, and enterprise like Skype, Discord, and many more. I hope everyone are clear like why we choose React Native and what is React Native. Okay, moving on to the next. How does a React Native work? How it is different from a native platform? Yeah. So React Native mainly works on the principle of threads. So the other native platform also like a kind of work on application setup. Like again, those are also work on threads, but it has some complex relationship with the threads. But in React Native, they have made it very easy, clear, and simple. So JavaScript is a bundled and minified using Babel library. So Babel is a built-in library in the React. So JavaScript will minify the Babel will minify the JavaScript library. Minify means it will again compress and reduce the complexity of the JavaScript. So we have mainly three threads in React Native. That is UI thread, layer, and JavaScript thread. So the UI thread mainly functions on the screen which you are able to see on the mobile application, and the JavaScript threads will be running in the background where it will interact with the UI thread as a component and performing the actions. So threads communicate asynchronously through the native bridge. So asynchronously means it will not wait for some other like a thread to perform action, then the next thread will no. In this case, asynchronous means the parallelly many functions can execute at the same time. So below example, you can see like the UI thread and the JS thread. So UI thread is nothing but the UI design which you are able to see here. It is example of like button click me, and the JS thread, it is the component button which I gave an example to you. So we'll define one JavaScript and combine the UI code, and the bridge will perform that threading combination like minification, and it will show us on the UI thread. So once we do any action on the UI, so it will capture that action, and again the bridge will send back to the JS thread to perform the function. So for example, here the button has a function click. If I click that, the UI thread will capture that click and send this click function to the JS thread. Hey, I have a function for you. Do this action or do the click action which you have, something like that. I hope everyone are clear. If you have doubt, you can ask like how does React Native work. So nowadays in the new architecture, we have something called shadow thread. So that we currently it's in the beta kind of thing. So but mainly we are focusing on the UI thread and the JS thread. Any doubts? Okay. I hope everyone are clear. Moving forward. Now like you will be having the question, sir, what are the things I need to know to learn React Native prerequisites? So I would like to say like the many very minimal basic things you need to know, that is like HTML and CSS. I hope everyone knows, and some JavaScript basics, and some of the like React concepts. I guess few are having the question like, sir, I'm from non-IT background. I don't know anything. I don't know HTML. I don't know Java. I don't know any React. So don't worry, guys. Like in this course, we will cover everything. We will teach you basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. Then we will be moving to the React Native. You no need to worry about like, sir, I don't know these things. I'm very bad at this. I'm telling you guys like HTML, CSS is very very easy, because like whatever you do the changes on the code, you can able to see it on the screen in a live real time examples. So in the course, like we will teach you how to do this, and you will love, because it's a, like you will feel happy like when you do something and it is you are able to see that working, right? Okay. So coming on, so till now, like it's a concept of how what is React Native, why we need to choose React Native, and how does the React Native work. And I hope everyone are clear in it regarding the prerequisites and all. Okay. So coming on to the course structure. So here is the things we are covering in the course. So I will be like we will be teaching you the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. That is the introduction and basics things, which will help you to deep dive into the next concepts of the React Native. Environmental setup. Environmental setup is nothing but like setting up the React libraries and the package into your own local machines. Developmental workflow. How does development starts and where the application will start and how actions will be performed. Core components. How we write the components and we follow the structure of the components and what are the main components which we will be using in the application. Then platform specific rendering. As I mentioned, it is supported for multiple platforms like Android, iOS, and TV, smart TVs, and smartwatch. Styling. So as like styling is a very easy concept and it's a very large concept as well. So we use styling with the help of CSS only. So there will be no much complexity. Then we'll be training you how to do the networking is nothing but how to call the APIs. I hope you have the heard somewhere the word called APIs in the real world. If you not, don't worry, we will teach you that also how API works and what all the APIs we have. Then componental libraries. As I mentioned in the earlier, we have a package called npm where we have huge number of libraries which will perform complex operations with a simple code. So we'll be training you how to use those third-party libraries in our application and how we can reduce the complexity to a simple flow. Storage and Redux. This is a kind of a again core concept where we use phone cache storage, like the device cache data. Using that, how we optimize the application's performance, avoiding multiple networking calls and all. And at the end, you will be having one hands-on project which you can use it for a real-time world. Yeah. So next will be like course curriculum and duration. So this is nothing but a breakdown of course how we do. So the course duration will be like around 2 months. In 2 months, like these are all the concepts will be training you. Sorry. The first 2 weeks we will be training you regarding the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, and like the setting up of your system to run the React Native application. Then we will be teaching you the React Native core components with some sample hands-on application. So he, in this, like we will be giving you some a set. We're building one team and we'll give a set of a simple application to a team so that you can build that application and you can experience how React Native and mobile applications work with a very minimal simple component so that you can have an idea of uh, combination of components which will help you to build a larger project. And then we'll be going into the advanced concept for the next 2 weeks, that is networking and the storage. At the end we will be having one real-time hands-on project where you can add it for your resume and you can publish it for the real-time use. I hope everyone are clear about the course structure and the curriculum. Okay, so you guys will be asking, sir, you are telling everything theory from that time. Please show us something where which will be interesting for to learn React Native. So that's why I brought you some simple sample codes and the CSS styling. Uh, I will share that. Okay. I hope you are guys are able to see my screen. Let me zoom it. Yeah. So if you see, this is one simple a sample application. I mean, not application, a sample code. How a React native would look like. A React native single page application would look like. So there will be imports at the top, as same as the imports we do for other application, and we'll be having one class, or we'll be having something called function with some name, and like some constants as the same normal code structure where you know. And again here like non IT, I would not say, like some will be confused like, sir, I don't know again this code structure and all, how do I learn? So don't worry, it will be very easy. Everything will follow the same pattern irrespective of whatever you write. So imports at the top, function, constants, and then we'll be having something, a return function, so which will give return a back of some view or some design or some layout. Here as you can see, like there is one view which is a main, and we have some small components like text, button, and image. So this is a basic like a simple code structure, I would like to say. And if you want to see the demo, I will just show you one. I hope the screen is visible. Yeah, so whatever we write in the written block, you can able to see it in the right side phone screen. So this is how the React Native application would look. For example, here you don't need the word hello word. You just need something hi, good morning, and you can see in the real time. You can see how the things will look and how the application layout will look. So it will be very interesting and very curious to learn. And you will be asking, sir, what is this some video going on? So here it is, you can see something called the constant picture, which we take it from some outsource application or some outsource the URL. It's a gif format where we render that in a image tag, and we are adding the source for the image as that picture which we defined as a constant. And if you want to change the height or width, you can do it, and you can able to see real time it will work. So it is very interesting to learn, guys. And next, I would like to share one small sample CSS code. Again, this also follows the same which I mentioned you. Import at the top, constants. You can add constants here or down outside here, and again some return function which will give some a layout view, and we have something called text. And now if you observe, we have given some property called style, which uses styles dot heading or some, okay. And that this styles is a constant which we defined, and inside that we have a multiple properties. So those who knows the JSON format, they are able to see, like they are able to understand clearly. Those who don't worry, we'll explain you deeply once you get into the course. So I would like to show you that sample example as well. Just a sec. Yeah, I hope you are able to see the screen sample. See here, we have given something called heading, and we have something a style called styles dot heading, which is defined over here. So in this, you can able to see the property font weight and font size. Now I will reduce the font size to 20. See, immediately you can see the changes reflected over here. So like this, you can do red to yellow, like immediately, like as you change the styling, it will automatically reflect over here. So this is how we do styling. It is a very simple styling. Once you get into the course, we'll explain you the all styling structures and how we manage the spacings and everything. So this is just a basic simple example. I hope everyone are clear. Any doubts? So once you do anything and you can able to see it on the phone screen, either you can run it on emulator or you can run it on a real device and you can see the changes. And it supports the hot reload. Hot reload is nothing but you, instead of doing changes, building application, running it again, run the application once, see the screen. You want to do changes, just do the changes and save it. Automatically it will reload the application. So not like the old native platforms, like do the changes, build the application and again run on the device. So they, it will consume a lot of time. So to avoid this, we have a hot reload function in this. And again, this is also an advantage of a React Native. I hope everyone are clear. Yeah. So till this, it was just a brief introduction and a sample application code structures. So if anyone have any doubt in any of the section, you can ask. I hope we are good. Okay, I hope everyone are understood and clear about the things. Again, thanks for joining the session. For more details, you can contact VRS Infotech, sorry, VSR Infotech. Yeah, we have some doubt. Okay, okay. Yeah, any doubts, anything? All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Sai, sir, anything you want to discuss?
That's fine, Bharat. Okay. We can stop the session. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'm dropping.
Thank you guys. Bye. Have a nice day.